Welcome to this video on retiring at 55 with a $68,000 annual income. Before we dive in, here's the setup. You have very low required monthly expenses, free health insurance, and a sizable monthly surplus. However, the real determinant of your security isn't today's surplus, but whether your income is permanent and how much capital you've built. In this video, we'll identify the three numbers that matter most, analyze your expense snapshot, apply the 4% rule to determine a safe nest egg target, and create a step-by-step plan that helps you secure your retirement, especially if a portion of your income is temporary. Let's begin by understanding why this matters right now. At a glance, your situation looks strong. Your mandatory expenses are low, health insurance is free, and your income is $68,000, which creates substantial breathing room. Yet, retirement security hinges on one factor: whether your non-investment income, $59,600 of the $68,000, is guaranteed for life. If it's not, then any surplus is temporary, and your plan must prioritize accelerated savings and contingency work options before Social Security. Next, let's outline today's roadmap so you know exactly what we'll cover. Here's our roadmap. First, we'll review your expense and income snapshot to quantify your margins. Next, we'll lock in the three critical numbers you must know. Then, we'll apply the 4% rule to set a capital target and translate it into practical next steps, including emergency funds, vehicle strategy, and insurance. We'll compare guaranteed income versus temporary income scenarios and finish with a 30-day action checklist. Let's start with your snapshot. Your mandatory monthly expenses total approximately $1,970, comprising $900 for housing, $408 for utilities, $162 for insurance, $400 for food, $65 for gas, and $35 for subscriptions. Free health insurance substantially reduces your risk and frees cash flow. On the income side, you receive $68,000 per year, of which $8,400 is from investment withdrawals. That leaves $59,600 that must come from either a pension, wages, or alimony. Today's surplus exceeds $3,700 per month. But this only matters if that non-investment income is permanent. If it ends, your plan changes immediately. With this snapshot in place, let's follow the flow of your income to see the pressure points. Visually, the plan depends on two streams: $59,600 from non-investment sources and $8,400 from investment withdrawals, which combine to your total annual income. After covering roughly $23,640 in required expenses, you have a surplus exceeding $44,000 annually. If the non-investment portion is temporary, you face an income cliff when it ends. Therefore, that surplus should be captured as savings to build capital and reduce future reliance on withdrawals. If the non-investment income is guaranteed for life, your margin and stability improve dramatically. Now, let's formalize the three numbers you must know to decide which path you're on. There are three essential numbers to identify now. First, total investment capital, which includes all investable assets such as retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, and cash reserves. This dictates how much you can safely draw under standard withdrawal frameworks. Second, the characteristics of your non-investment income, the exact source, the amount, and critically, the remaining duration. Is it guaranteed for life, partially temporary, or ending within a certain number of years? Third, your Social Security projections, including expected benefit at different claiming ages, and how those benefits will coordinate with your withdrawals. With these numbers defined, you can test whether you have sufficient capital to fund expenses in the event the non-investment income stops. A brief but important disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only and is not individualized financial advice. Your situation may involve tax, legal, and personal considerations not covered here. Before acting, consult a licensed fiduciary advisor and verify all assumptions and calculations against your actual account statements and benefits projections. With that in mind, let's quantify your budget in a simple table to ground the discussion. Here is your monthly and annual view of core expenses. Mortgage is $900 monthly, or $10,800 annually. Utilities are $408 monthly, or $4,896 annually. Insurance totals $162 monthly, or $1,944 annually. Food is $400 monthly, or $4,800 per year. Gas is $65 monthly, or $780 annually. Subscriptions are $35 monthly, or $420 annually. Altogether, mandatory expenses are $1,970 per month, or $23,640 per year. With this baseline, We can now translate spending needs into a nest egg target using the 4% rule. The 4% rule offers a practical benchmark for a 30-year retirement horizon. If you need $40,000 annually from your investments once the mortgage is paid off, a $1 million nest egg supports that under the 4% rule. If you prefer a more conservative approach to account for low expected returns or sequence risk, then at 3.5%, the target rises to approximately $1.14 million, and at 3%, about $1.33 million. These are planning benchmarks, not guarantees, and your actual needs depend on taxes, healthcare variability, and your investment allocation. Next, let's map the coming years so you can time key decisions like Social Security and Medicare. This timeline lays out decisions from age 55 to 70. At 55, confirm whether the $59,600 of non-investment income is guaranteed for life. From 55 to 59, prioritize building a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, roughly $6,000 to $12,000, and if income is temporary, save the monthly surplus aggressively to build your capital base. At 60, update your Social Security estimates to refine your plan. At 62, consider the early claiming option and its trade-offs. At 65, you will be eligible for Medicare, so coordinate that with your current health coverage and any employer retiree benefits. At approximately your full retirement age, near 67, reassess your plan and risk exposure. Finally, by age 70, evaluate whether delaying Social Security to maximize benefits fits your needs. Mark mortgage payoff and car fund milestones along this path to maintain liquidity and avoid new debt. Here is your step-by-step plan. First, compute your total investable assets across retirement accounts, brokerage, and cash. Second, verify whether the $59,600 of non-investment income is lifetime guaranteed, and document any end date. Third, establish an emergency fund covering 3 to 6 months of living expenses, approximately $6,000 to $12,000. Fourth, avoid new debt and set aside a $5,000 repair fund for your current vehicle. Fifth, drive your 2007 vehicle until major repairs become uneconomic, and plan a cash replacement in the $7,000 to $12,000 range if necessary. Sixth, review your insurance and, if you have no dependents, evaluate whether life insurance premiums are still necessary. Seventh, retrieve your Social Security estimates from the Social Security Administration and model benefits at ages 62, 67, and 70. Eighth, build a retirement budget that assumes the mortgage is paid off and validates healthcare coverage assumptions. Ninth, if your non-investment income is temporary, save your entire surplus aggressively and consider part-time work to bridge the gap to Social Security. 10th, review your asset allocation to manage sequence of returns risk and align withdrawals with your risk tolerance. Finally, schedule quarterly check-ins to make sure you are on track with savings, spending, and milestones. Let's compare two scenarios. If your non-investment income is guaranteed for life, such as a pension or permanent wages, your plan benefits from higher certainty. You may be able to rely less on investment withdrawals and focus on maintaining flexibility and inflation resilience. The risk level is lower, though market sequence risk still matters. Conversely, if the income is temporary, for example, alimony that ends in a few years, you must increase your savings rate dramatically and consider part-time work to bridge the gap. The goal is to convert today's surplus into durable capital so that when the income ends, your investments and future Social Security can reliably carry your expenses. On vehicles, prioritize debt avoidance. Keep driving your 2007 car while it remains mechanically sound. Set aside a $5,000 repair fund so repairs do not disrupt your plan. If replacement becomes necessary, purchase a reliable used vehicle in the $7,000 to $12,000 range with cash. Regarding insurance, if you have no dependents, reassess whether life insurance is still needed. Eliminating unnecessary premiums can free additional cash flow for savings. Next, let's test your understanding with a quick quiz. Quiz time. If you need $40,000 per year from investments, how large should your nest egg be under the 4% rule? Option A, $400,000. Option B, $1 million. Option C, $2 million. Option D, $160,000. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is $1 million. At a 4% withdrawal rate, $1 million multiplied by 0.04 equals $40,000 per year. Remember, this is a planning benchmark over a 30-year period and should be adjusted based on your risk tolerance and other income sources. Second question. Your $59,600 of non-investment income ends in 3 years. What is the most prudent immediate move? Option A. Upgrade your car with a low-interest loan. Option B. Reduce your emergency fund to invest more aggressively. Option C. Aggressively save the monthly surplus to build capital and consider part-time work. Option D. Increase investment withdrawals to maintain lifestyle. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is to aggressively save the monthly surplus to build capital and consider part-time work. Because the income ends in 3 years, you must accelerate savings to create a sustainable capital base and reduce the need for higher investment withdrawals later. Increasing withdrawals now would raise risk and reduce future flexibility. Here are the key takeaways. First, know your 3 numbers: total investable capital, the duration and certainty of your non-investment income, and your Social Security estimates. Second, your current surplus only creates lasting security if the core income is durable. If it is temporary, channel that surplus aggressively into savings. Third, use the 4% rule as a benchmark, recognizing that more conservative rates may be appropriate, which raises your target capital. Fourth, avoid new debt. Handle car repairs from a dedicated fund and plan any replacement with cash. Fifth, reevaluate insurance to free cash flow where coverage is unnecessary. Finally, commit to a 30-day action plan and quarterly reviews to ensure you maintain momentum. To close, here is your next 30 days plan. First, list all accounts and total your investable capital. Second, confirm whether the $59,600 in non-investment income is guaranteed. If it is temporary, record its exact end date. Third, bring your emergency fund to between $6,000 and $12,000. Fourth, earmark $5,000 for car repairs and commit to a cash-only replacement strategy. Fifth, retrieve your Social Security estimates for ages 62, 67, and 70 and draft a claiming strategy. Sixth, if your income is temporary, set up automatic transfers to direct your monthly surplus into savings or investments. Finally, schedule your first quarterly review and add reminders to stay accountable. Up next, a quick closing note. Thanks for watching. If this walkthrough clarified your path to retiring at 55, please like the video, share it with someone planning their retirement, and subscribe for more practical, step-by-step guides. In the comments, tell us whether your non-investment income is guaranteed or temporary, and what your next 30-day action is. Your story might help someone else make a better decision.